Hey guys, Legendary GRIMLOCK here, and a subscriber asked me to debunk this, and yeah, I can see why. This was horrible, like on both sides. It was absolutely just no research done, just looked at the movies, threw them in there, and no scaling at all. So it's basically Monsterverse Mechagodzilla versus Bayverse Transformers, and this was, oh my god. I think I wanted to actually slam my head through a glass table here. Like, I think I was looking for one. So, they had a Bumblebee, Shockwave, Ironhide, Optimus, Quintessa, Sentinel Prime, Lockdown, Megatron, Grimlock, and Fodder Devastator go against Mechagodzilla. And they didn't even address the scaling of both verses, how, Mechagodzilla had a lot of context to it, and it was just horrible. Like, honestly, one of the top 10 worst videos I've seen here. But let's start off with the Bayverse scaling here. They scaled the solar system, like, consistently. Both movies and in the comics, which are connected to the movies, and the novelization, they scaled to solar system. They even have Autobots that are powerful enough to use the Allspark to enhance themselves. So again, it's very consistent for them to scale from star to solar system level. And again, keep in mind, Optimus Prime was also able to destroy a star harvester and even blasted the Matrix of leadership that was taken out of him. Keep in mind, Optimus Prime's body as well also has to handle the power of the Matrix of leadership, which again was able to power a star harvester. So again, the Optimus Prime has the literal power of a star within him. And Optimus and a couple other, like, the high tier members are in the much higher, I guess you could say in much deeper layers into the solar system level. These members would include the Fallen, Sentinel Prime, Jazz, Optimus himself, Megatron, Brawl, Blackout, Starscream, and Lockdown. All right, then you have, you're also, the Dinobots as well. So they would scale into a much deeper layer of solar system, with some being above the others. And again, this is consistent with the Bayverse here. You see, I don't have any issues with Danco, other than the fact that he clearly plagiarizes. I mean, he's been exposed for this many times here. And I even said on my channel with some of his older videos, it just feels like he's actually reading off, like, Reddit threads or CBR, like actually plagiarizing the work and actually getting credit for it. Don't harass him or anything. I'm just saying it's just, it's very, clear as day that he plagiarizes here. Now let's go over the Mechagodzilla scaling. Mechagodzilla clear as day scales to planetary. Yes, the Monsterverse does have star level, metas and stuff, which would put them, on par with the Bayverse consistently. And I honestly think that, yeah, this, if you actually do composite Monsterverse Godzilla versus composite Bayverse Optimus Prime, that's a lot closer than you think. These guys have multiversal to, you could argue higher. I'm just saying, you could definitely argue higher, metas. So again, it's very consistent with these characters here that they would scale to a much higher grade if they use composite. And again, Mechagodzilla in the Monsterverse here, the canon, material to the Monsterverse, doesn't scale to Godzilla. It was even confirmed that if Godzilla was at full strength, didn't use the Hollow Earth breath, didn't fight Kong, that the fight would have gone very differently. Maybe a high diff, or maybe an even matchup, but again, Godzilla would have won it regardless. So this means that Mechagodzilla was in no way, shape, or form a match for Godzilla. And yet, somehow Mechagodzilla, was able to ragdoll a tired and weakened Godzilla. That's the problem I have with, Danco, with Death Battle, is that they leave out context to these feats here. They leave out important material here. For example, how are you guys going to say that Mechagodzilla wins or Mechagodzilla is stronger and more durable when you have characters like Camshaft who scale below characters like Starscream, and, Brawl is significantly above Starscream, but yet he can get one-shotted by Jazz here. And again, these guys are consistently in the same tier, but again, with beings on much deeper layers into that tier. And this is the problem now. This is what happens and what you get for using, Reddit threads or, wiki pages, and you don't give them their credit, or you plagiarize half information and then try to mix it in with all this nonsense here. If we really did verse versus verse here, the only transformer they need is really GRIMLOCK here. They even said that GRIMLOCK might be able to damage Mechagodzilla when he's literally deeper layers into the solar system level category. Meanwhile, Monsterverse caps around like star level. I do think they'll reach the, higher ends eventually, but again, unless it's composite, this really isn't like a matchup at all. And again, you also have Bayverse, where they had the alternate ending where Megatron and Optimus actually had peace with each other, and that goes into Rise of the Darkspark, with that Optimus literally having universal to multiversal to higher levels of scaling. And the Darkspark was confirmed to be able to bend the universe to its will. Keep in mind as well that the Darkspark caused, or at least Bayverse, sorry, not Bayverse, Align Continuity Optimus Prime actually shot this, thing to basically multiple universes, which each universe being its own multiverse, because of the whole, splintered or infinite timelines attached to one universe thing. And again, this went as so far as to go to the trans-tech universe. The trans-tech, or the transcendent technomorph, or again, trans-tech, are beings that sit above the multiverse. Not in the same realm as like the elder gods or, the true forms of the primes and stuff. No, they sit as kind of like the police force of the multiverse, meaning that it was able to go to Cloud World and then went to the Bayverse. So this thing traveled through multiple multiverses and was even launched to such a degree that it went to a higher realm. And again, Lockdown had the power to actually match that. With the Darkspark, it was even trying to, change time itself and going back to the literal heart of the Bayverse War. And again, he was scared of characters like GRIMLOCK actually retreating, despite the fact that he had the Darkspark. He was like, nah, yeah, we out of here. We out of here. So again, you have characters in the Bayverse that scale to multiversal if we use their higher ends. And again, the same can be said for the Monsterverse. But, however, when it comes to them base to base, Bayverse is consistently higher than the Monsterverse. They scale to solar system due to things like the Allspark, the Star Harvester, and there's, characters like Quintessa and the Fallen who have universal levels or possibly even multiversal levels of attack potency. And this is what happens when you plagiarize information and you don't use it legitly. Your videos should be your own. Videos should be like Godzilla King of the Monsters, or Churros Kings, or Chuck, or Jobbers and Goons. And again, like myself here, their own videos. This is the problem we have nowadays with Danco, and why really he's known as one of the worst members in the Versus community, because he plagiarizes information. But as pertaining to this battle, this was horrible. Like, just outright disgraceful to both sides here. But anyway, that's going to be all for today, you guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary GRIMLOCK, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Peace.